Hello, I am Matti Raasakka from Micro and Quantum Systems Research Group at Aalto University, and I would like to present our work on generating approximate quantum state preparation circuits with a genetic algorithm. And this is work that has been done in collaboration with several other people, and it is based on our forthcoming paper on the same topic. And if you have any questions on this presentation, don't hesitate to contact us at this email address. Before we go on, I would also like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to present our work here at the Qcrypt conference. All right, so what is the motivation behind this work? Well, the preparation of quantum states on a quantum computer is, of course, a very fundamental task that is required in many different practical quantum algorithms. For example, in error correction and fault-tolerant quantum computing. The number of elementary quantum gates that is needed in order to prepare some quantum state is generally called the computational complexity of that quantum state. And this computational complexity of different states relates fundamentally to the capabilities of quantum computers, because it tells us what kind of states are easy to prepare and what kind of states are difficult to prepare. And in this way also relates to cryptography in obvious ways. Now, it is known that the number of gates that are needed in order to prepare an arbitrary state on a quantum computer grows exponentially in the number of qubits. And this is, of course, a problem for preparing such states, because on real quantum computers we do have noise and errors happening during the computation, and as the length of the circuit grows, the fidelity drops very rapidly down because of all the errors that crop up in the computation as we have longer and longer circuits. Here, for example, we have some simulated results for the fidelity of the output states when we try to prepare some arbitrary target states on an IBM 5-qubit machine for different number of qubits. So we see that for 2 qubits, the circuits are still small enough so that we don't have too many errors, and we can prepare the target state almost exactly. But as the number of qubits grows, the fidelity very quickly drops down. And the exact state preparation circuits at that point become pretty much useless. Already for 5 qubits for the current machines. So this raises the question whether we could use a genetic algorithm to provide us approximate state preparation circuits that would be approximate but also shorter than the exact state preparation circuits, with higher physical fidelity with noise included than the exact state preparation circuit. Indeed, these multi-objective genetic algorithms can be used to optimize circuits with respect to several different goals. So here we could, for example, try to maximize the fidelity and minimize the length or the number of CNOT gates in the circuit. Well, in fact, there already exists algorithms for generating approximate state preparation circuits, and one of those algorithms that has been published recently by these authors here is the starting point for our genetic algorithm. So actually we seed the initial population of the genetic algorithm with these approximate state preparation circuits that are obtained from this algorithm, and then we run the genetic algorithm to optimize these circuits even further, and we observe some improvements on the fidelity. So with the same number of CNOT gates, we achieve higher fidelities than this low-rank state preparation algorithm provided here in this paper. And how does the genetic algorithm work exactly? Well, I won't have the time to go into all the details here, but let's just mention that we are using the non-dominated sorting genetic algorithm number 2 for our selection process, based on this paper here, and then the genetic operators that we use to mutate and change our circuits as we go from one population to another. Those genetic operators are based on this other paper here from 2018 by these authors. So these are operations such as mutation or insertion or deletion of a single gate in the circuit or a sequence of gates, permutation of the qubit mapping from the logical qubits to the physical qubits, and also crossovers of two parent circuits where we combine two different circuits into new circuits. And for the genetic algorithm, the goal is to maximize the fidelity and minimize the circuit cost, which we have chosen for our purposes to be given by this formula. So it's related to the length of the circuit, but we give a higher cost to the CNOT gates because the CNOT gates have a higher error than the single qubit gates on the physical machine. And also our genetic algorithm can take into account the physical connectivity of the qubits on the quantum machine, so only CNOT gates which respect the connectivity of the qubits are allowed in our circuits. Okay, and here are some results. So this left graph here presents the optimal trade-offs between the circuit cost and fidelity, where we have actually CNOTs here on the horizontal axis, and here we have run the genetic algorithm for 100 different Haar random states. And we can see that we have this kind of an exponential convergence to the exact state as we increase the number of CNOT gates. I won't have the time to go into the details here, but we actually in the paper we also theoretically analyze this task of state preparation, and we can also explain why we get this kind of an exponential behavior. So this is without noise, and then when we add the noise in, we get a graph that looks something like this. So we can see that for the longer circuits with more CNOTs, the fidelity drops down quite significantly. Whereas for the shorter circuits, obviously the errors are not that bad, and we can see that in the case of noise, we do get some kind of maximum for the fidelity here at this point. So for some shorter approximate circuit, we achieve the best physical fidelity. On this slide, we have a comparison between the approximate state preparation circuits obtained from the low-rank state preparation algorithm that we use to initialize our population in the genetic algorithm. These are the blue dots, and these are the results for 100 different Haar random states. And this is the maximum noisy fidelity that was achieved. And these are simulated results using the Qcrypt simulator and the noise model for the IBM WIGO 5-qubit machine, 5-qubit states. And the red dots are the maximum physical fidelities that we obtain with the approximate state preparation circuits obtained from the genetic algorithm. And we can see that the genetic algorithm improves the results, the maximum physical fidelity, quite significantly in almost all the cases. So we see that our genetic algorithm is able to improve on the fidelities provided by the low-rank state preparation algorithm for a given number of CNOT gates in most cases, and this also leads to the fact that the maximum physical noisy fidelities are improved by the genetic algorithm. And this points to the fact that for the current quantum computers with high error rates, these kind of shorter approximate state preparation circuits may provide significant improvements to fidelity for the state preparation tasks. We saw this already for 5 qubits in our simulations, but potential improvements grow as the number of qubits gets larger. So this should be even more relevant for the bigger machines. So our method can be used to find this kind of circuits, approximate state preparation circuits, which can be used to obtain better physical fidelities than the exact state preparation circuit. For more details on our work, stay tuned for our forthcoming paper here, and I thank you for your attention.